As busy mums, at the end of a day, we very often crash into bed feeling undervalued, underappreciated, underaccomplished, when actually the reality is we've probably done an absolute bucket load of jobs, but we just can't see them because we haven't seen them. Let me explain. I'm going to share two interlinked hacks. One that will create a mindset shift, one that's a physical item that can change the psychology of your mindset behind that seemingly never ending to-do list, with a shift that will positively impact your mental health. We're going to say goodbye to those traditional mind draining to-do lists and hello to a more vibrant, positive to-do list, but with a twist. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, and I am here to remind you, to share with you, to shout loud and proud about the fact that mum guilt is not necessary. Our self-care is vital in our world of crazy, chaotic, juggling mum life busyness. My job here is to bring you some hacks and some inspiration and some reminders that what you do is worth it, that what you do is vital, that what you do is absolutely crucial to everything that happens around you. And in that, I include massively include and highlight and reiterate the need for self-care and how your self-care impacts every single person around you. And if you do it positively, consistently, the ripple that happens, the benefit, the positive ripple that happens is phenomenal. And it allows you to know in all truth and honesty that your self-care is not selfish. Your self-care is a vital part of your entire family happiness. Let's get on to our to-do list with a twist. So if you've not heard of a to-do list before, it's basically how we normally have a to-do list. We always have a to-do list and it's always growing and it's always seems to be never shrinking. And I get that, right? We are busy. We've always got stuff to do. But a to-do list allows you to change the concept and allows you to hone in on what you've achieved rather than what you need to do. To-do lists can really diminish your self-worth and they can really create a sense of overwhelm. A to-do list, on the other hand, focuses more positively. It allows us to appreciate the efforts of the tasks that we've done and build momentum for the tasks ahead. So my to-do list with a twist is to time block your time, and therefore you're already putting in your things that you need to do in order to already praise yourself for them. So let's look at a time-blocked calendar / to-do list. We'll start off with a 12-month calendar, January through to December. It doesn't have to be broken down into minute areas. What you want to do with starting off with is look at your really big stuff across the year, things that are absolutely not going to change. Mums, right? We've got school holidays, we've got half terms, we've got inset days. You've got birthdays, the children's birthdays, your birthdays, any wedding anniversaries for yourselves, for the in-laws, for your parents, your friends, really good friends, their big birthdays, any trips that you've got planned. For those of you in business, there will be times throughout the year that you will already know that are definitely busier times of your year. So you start to put them into your diary and you get a really big picture idea of where your time is going to be taken and where your time is a little bit more free. For me, I have got skincare launches that happen 2 times in the year. We have January as a really vibrant part of our year in our community, and December is a really vibrant part of our year. And then we have March and September. So for me, I have 4 periods in my business that are very dominant in my life. So I want to make sure I have all of those things mapped out alongside all of the family things, and then an idea before we start to break down our year into our months and our weeks, an idea of where I want to look after myself. So my self-care in that time slot, what are your priorities? What is it that makes you the happiest when you look after yourself the most? For me personally, every 3 to 4 months, I always have a meeting with my 2 best friends. In addition to that, I always try and do a meet up with my other friends for dog walks or a lunch or a spa. And I try and make sure I dot them through the year, because you want to make sure you're always topping up your self-care, your self-love, and you're putting it into your diary where you know you're going to be able to have little bits of time, so that you already are not feeling overwhelmed at not ticking your boxes for your joy, your worth, your refilling of your cup, and you're taking away the overwhelm of trying to fit it in later down the line and then maybe running out of time or not being able to sync up with your friends. So advanced planning into your time blocked calendar, you will already be like, ta-da! I've got my self-care mapped out for 1, 2, 3, 4 times through the year. That's your big picture annual look. Then we get to bring that down into a week. And you're not going to look at every individual week throughout the entire year. You're going to give yourself a snapshot of what a standard week looks like. And you're going to look on Google, simple, easy Google, or go onto Canva and make something for yourself, or go into a Word document and just put a table in. And you want to be looking at your time slots from what time you wake up in the morning to what time you go to bed. And then you go across Monday through to Sunday. And the idea is that you then put into your calendar, your normal standard week, the absolute non-movable items. So for me personally, my little boy used to get up at about 5:30 every day. So Monday through Friday, I would know from 5:30 until school drop off, that was a complete block for me. Anytime I was doing any woo-woo stuff and I could only find some time to do it in the morning, there was a period of time where I would set my alarm for 5 o'clock and I would have that half an hour because I time blocked my day and I couldn't find half an hour anywhere else in the day. And that's why this helps. You can start to see where your gaps are. So you would time block your morning according to your routine. Then you would time block the other things that are absolute essentials. So for me, it would be dinner time, bedtime, bath time routine. And I've worked from home for quite a long time now. So I would have my various meetings on the various days, which would then show me where my really big windows of time were and my really small windows of time. And in order to make sure that I was filling my cup and doing my jobs that I would do, I would look at my big blocks and I would utilize those big blocks for things that needed more time. And I would put in where I was going to do the mundane, laundry, hoovering, food shopping, all of the good stuff. But it would create a really good, clear visual picture of what was left over. Now, straight away, if you then start to use that plan through the week, straight away, by the end of each day, you're like, ta-da, look what I've achieved today. This big block in the morning, getting the kids up, getting them ready for school, getting the breakfast, getting the hairs done, getting them off to school, happy, off you go, kiddie winkles. You've done a lot, right? You've achieved a lot. You're doing your mum job, but you've ticked off. And if you don't see it, and that's why I said at the beginning, if you see it, when you see it, you can appreciate it. You can put value to it. You can see that you've had a few hours where you've actually done some really good, solid stuff that needs to be appreciated, because it often goes unappreciated. It often goes unseen, and it shouldn't. There are some crazy statistics out there, and I don't know them off the top of my head, but there are some crazy statistics about the value and the worth that is put on the role and the job of being a mum. And if you can see it, every day you've got your morning breakfast school routine, and every night you've got your pick up, school, bed, bath. You've done 2 massive jobs there that you should be like, ta-da! Even if you've done nothing else that day, you've got some little humans up, dressed and off to school, or up, dressed and off to whatever it is you're doing with them. If they're not at school yet and you're doing soft play meetups or park meetups with your friends, you are interacting them, you're socializing them. They are out there in the world learning and developing and growing and socializing. It's the simplest of things. If we haven't written it down and we don't see it on a piece of paper, these simple things are simple things. But actually, they're really bloody important to you, your family, and our future society. You are growing and nurturing our future society. And therefore, at the end of every day, if all you've done is been mum, that's a big ta-da. That's a big, okay, pat myself on the back. I've done a good job today. Now, let's add to that in these gaps of time, you're going to do your laundry and your food. And if you start to say, okay, do you know what? Now that I've got the actual non-movable stuff in here, I'm going to focus on Monday doing a deep clean of the house. I'm going to do the first Monday of the month, I'm going to do windows and floors. The second Monday, I'm going to do this, right? You have your Monday. Then you have your Tuesday, and you can say, okay, on Tuesdays, I'm going to go and do the food shop, and I'm going to do this. On a Wednesday, I've now got this big gap of time, and I'm going to put in my self-care. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to start to see the windows, you're going to start to see the gaps, and you're going to start to be able to prioritize where you put your jobs so that you already have a to-do list there in front of you. All you got to do is follow it. So the mindset shift, the appreciation to yourself of all of those things that you now see in front of you, the impact, the self-worth, the self-appreciation starts straight away. Before you even start your week, you can see the progress you're going to make in that week. Not forgetting absolute quality time with your loved ones as well. So I obviously am talking about self-care, but your self-care could be your time with your loved ones. It could be going off and having a spa. It could be going out for a walk in nature. It could be many, many, many things. But when you then get to the end of the week and you see all of your to-do list has been done and it's now your to-do list, you get to celebrate. It's a victory at the end of the week. On a practical level, time blocking helps you to really prioritize your time, allocate your time accordingly, and enhance your efficiency. Make sure you do leave gaps though. I'm talking about filling the gaps with self-care and friends and family and loved ones and doing all the things that float your boat, but avoid burnout by filling all the gaps with things. You want some space. We all know this life can bring about unexpected interruptions. So you want to leave a bit of movement and allow some calm and some peace and some tranquility in and amongst that schedule. And that's it. That's your mindset psychology hack with a twist. Do some time blocking to create your to-do list, encouraging you to have a positive perspective on your daily achievements. Remember though, it's not about doing it all, it's about doing what matters and celebrating it along the way. It's a mindful, fulfilling journey when you shift your perspective into your accomplishments and you allow yourself to see your accomplishments and make the changes to support you doing it. We can quite often get to the end of the day and grimace over the unproductive day that we feel that we've had. But if you can see your day in 30-minute slots and see that you have achieved so much, you end up giving yourself a pat on the back rather than the horrendous self-critique that we often find ourselves stumbling into when we're tired, when we're exhausted, when we flop into bed at night. Our mind can take over. This is a way to stop that from happening. It's a way to make the mind switch to say, well done, I've done well today. So thank you for joining me. I hope that it is something that you go off and try for yourself. And I would love to know in the comments if you do, and if you actually feel and see the difference. Remember that it is through intentional self-care that we rediscover our inner worth and we radiate that back into the world. So be intentional with the words that you say to yourself. Be intentional with your actions. Be intentional with the changes that you would like to see in yourself and put some actions in place. And let's move forward together with a self-care be strong, mum guilt be gone mindset. We're bringing you, as he's watching all the time, we're bringing you this reminder of how to create a harmonious balance between your mind, your body, your soul, your happiness, and all of the good things that will ripple out into the world around you, ripple into your family, ripple into your heart's happiness. Have a glorious day, evening, week, whatever you're up to, wherever you are. I wish you productive, guilt-free self-care to soothe your mind and your soul today and every day. Remember, it takes a village. This motherhood journey, this chaos we find ourselves in at times, it takes a village to get through it. So the link to my Facebook group will be in the description. Come and join us. Join in the motivation, the support, the encouragement, the sisterhood. Mum guilt, be gone. Self-care, be strong. I'll see you on the next one.